So this is what happened to me. This is the true story. This is not made up at all. This is not like a clickbait video like some people do. This is literally what happened to me. It's Garik, Baba Fira, Papa Sasha, Mama Sofechka, Janechka. It's me. I'm here, well, and thank God. I'm doing this video. I ask one thing. I'm not doing this video for pity. I want people to know what's happening, what happened to me, because I hear a lot of stories of people got corona, people had mild symptoms, some people didn't taste or smell anything, but this is what actually happened to me. Basically, I was supposed to be in LA, where I am right now, back around the weekend of March 15th. I decided I want to shoot a video before I go out to LA. Around March 19th, I started getting a temperature of 103.5. The way I found out is I live with my roommate, and my mom had to bring me an electronic thermometer. I check. I'm not feeling really well. I had started getting slight body aches. Thank God I had my dietitian, Anna, and her husband is a doctor, who's an emergency doctor, so he was already knowing what's happening, and right away I called him to just get his feedback, because I know he's been working in the ER and been already in contact with people who do have COVID. He told me right away only to take Tylenol for pain killing, and for temperature only Tylenol, because supposedly ibuprofen was not good. And I started taking vitamin C, he recommended, vitamin zinc, and drinking a lot of fluids. With my Anna dietitian, she also started telling me to make sure I'm on a better diet, so this way my body's fighting whatever I'm having. So I started eating a lot more veggies. I was drinking a lot more water, so like the fluids, the chais, and that's pretty much it. A little bit of headaches. Pretty much on the second week, about like 5 to 7 days into it, everything got worse. Mind you, on the 4th day I went to see my doctor. He prescribed me antibiotics, started taking antibiotics. He said you could go, if you feel like it's getting bad, you could go to the emergency room, but just mind you that if you go to emergency room and you don't have anything, but you go somewhere to emergency room that somebody who does have it, you can actually get it from there. So he's like, listen, think twice. You can go there. It looks like you might have it, but not 100%. And the testings weren't available. Like, they were not available back then like that. So I couldn't even go to a testing facility. My doctor didn't have anything to test me. On the second week, that's when I start feeling it in my breathing. Let me explain about the breathing. The breathing is now like a pain. It's not like yazadechayus. It's as if I just didn't have enough air to breathe. It feels like здесь сверху, above where my lungs are, просто кто-то сжал, as if like у меня был какой-то corset. Obviously I don't wear a corset, you know what I mean? But like it felt like мне кто-то просто задавил, and I just have limited air supply. There was not pain. Dietitian's husband, I tell him again, he's like, it's so нормально. He told me to go buy this thing. I don't know what it's called. It's a special pipetka that you put on your finger, and it tells you how much air is in your bloodstream. If you have to like sort of make sure it's 95 or higher is good. If it starts dipping below 90, that's not good already. My mom kept bringing me food. Obviously, I was not in contact with anyone beside my roommate. Somehow, my roommate did not have it. Thank God. I would have felt the worst, and I'm happy I wasn't around my parents, and I didn't infect anyone during this whole time at all. And that was important, because you imagine by actually get in contact with somebody and you or you give it to somebody and somebody else dies because of it's your thing. So I sat at home the whole time. I didn't leave. My mom would leave me food at my doorstep, and they would leave. I would come downstairs. On the second week, the body aches became deadly. I gotta say, guys, like, I've never thought about like any thoughts whatsoever, but I'll tell you this much: the body aches were so bad that it literally made me cry. Like, you couldn't do anything about it. I was telling you, taking the legal amount of Tylenol you're supposed to, or recommended, you're supposed to take per day, and это просто выкручивало мою спину. At certain days I'll wake up, I felt like I had vertigo. I couldn't walk straight. I would try to like get out of my bed to like just get some blood flow, to get some water. So one of the days I did not feel good. I started to feel, and mind you, like in terms of like, you guys know me as an acting person. I've took improv classes numerous times at different clubs. I've taken actual breathing classes because I wanted to do vocal singing, so I know how to breathe. So when I'm doing most of my Baba Fira, I'm actually not breathing. I'm actually breathing in and go, wait, God gila, and I hold the breath. So I like, for me not to breathe, it actually takes a lot. I can't breathe to this point. So my friend, who's the guy who's the doctor, is telling me, listen, if something gets bad, you tell me. He had a few friends that work in different hospitals. I decided that's it, Miana Native Hospital. I order one of those ambulance where you can order where it will take you wherever hospital you want. So I walk myself down barely. There's a ambulance waiting. I get in the truck. They start doing tests on me. They take my ID. They like, literally, and you did the Patras told me you don't need to go to the hospital. And I'm telling them that I've been waiting for 2 weeks until like I really thought that I really need to go to the hospital. And I'm telling you now, right now, guys, I waited until the last moment. I really didn't want to go to the hospital, and they're trying to discourage me. And I'm like, guys, I'm going. I'm under supervision of a doctor. These guys, они даже не посадили, not in a chair, like what are those, wheelchair. They didn't put me in like the stretcher. And I'm like, guys, I can barely walk. They're like, oh, it's just a short walk. And he's запарковали машину на углу, and I had to walk myself into the emergency room. Guys, and I'm not even stressing. I'm that kind of person. I don't complain when I'm sick. I'm like, sort of figure out myself, or like, если мне надо вырвать, I'll leave by myself. I don't bother anyone. And I'm like, guys, I really need it. And they're like, it's just like a close walk here. I feel like они мне не верили what's happening to me. We get in there. There's like a line to sign in. There's a nurse, a triage nurse at this hospital. Finally, they call my name. And while we were like checking in, they didn't even like tell them the numbers of my social security number. I had to write it down. Like I'm about to pass out. And then начинают to check me in. They start checking my pulse. They start checking my давление. And the thing starts going crazy. My pulse is going at 181. She's like, what the hell is going on? She starts начинает кричать на эти EMT, like, what was this guy? His pulse is crazy. So они меня все бросили на the stretcher thing. Они быстренько начали делать EKG, which is like a thing for cardiac, to see if you're about to have a heart attack, which they explained to me that I was about to have a heart attack. They gave me air, and they gave me a kapelnica after like maybe 30 minutes. But I gotta say, мне так стало холодно, I couldn't feel anything. But I finally started to breathe. Once they gave me these little штучки with air oxygen that go in your nose, I actually felt like a little bit normal, even though I was freezing my butt off, like in the ER. I was not admitted. They made sure that все нормально. The blood heart rate was about over 100 and like about 7. And then slowly went down to 87. They didn't give me the test in the hospital, but they did say that like based on everything that you're having, they did a chest x-ray. They did say that I did have pneumonia, that I do have pretty much COVID, but they didn't prove it with the test. They told me to go home. They told me just to rest for another couple of days. If anything would happen, to come back right away. I switched my PCP over to a different doctor who was amazing. And this doctor actually had available COVID test. So I actually did the COVID test 2 days after I got out of the hospital, and I was positive. And because I was positive, I ended up getting that hydrochloroquine medication, which I ended up taking for the next 4 days. I took that. In the mix, I took, with taking that, I took antibiotics. I took, again, my antibiotics I took vitamin C, I took zinc. I would say after 4 days after the hospital, all my symptoms went away. Pretty much took me 3 weeks to go negative. So after this happened around April 31st, I finally found out that I no longer had corona. I haven't seen my family, and it was literally the day before my brother's birthday. And this is my story. I know it's a lot. I really wanted to go in detail exactly what happened. I think everyone needs to take it very seriously. I end up getting the antibody test. I have full antibodies. Supposedly, I have over 10 antibodies, which is usually for people who have like something what I went through, have a high count of antibodies. This is my story of what happened to me, corona. I'm beyond grateful that I'm alive. Thank you for everyone who's been here, from Anna to your husband, Morky, and guys, thank you so much for being here. And I'm so grateful for all the advice I got, for all the stuff I ate that was healthy, that kept me afloat. And thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you could give me a like, a follow, subscribe for my Instagram, Garik Suharik, and my YouTube page. Thank you for watching.